Um, Good morning, everybody. I just thought I'd take this opportunity to show you sort of a process I go through. I always start with design, and we got the opportunity recently to go back to a job that we designed in 2007, 2008, and it was an historic residence with historic designation both as a building and being under restriction in the historic district. And it also happens to be one of the finest examples of board and batten still in existence. And that is why it's a registered house. And it's the Latchie House, 1867. And actually the only surviving board and batten under the historic registry. And what I thought I'd do is just introduce the video of us going through the property, and I found the old plans, which of course I prepare after extensive surveys of the house. So we go in and we survey what's there. In this particular case, we even went down to the city and pulled archive plans to see what had been done. What I will do during the video is inject still frame pictures of what we've drawn or I've drawn here, and this is a process we go through with all of our clients, and I think it's the most steadfast way to do it. It allows us to explore ideas and discuss it while we're not surrounded in renovation catastrophe. And historic homes can be the most challenging to do, and I think proper planning is essential. I hope you enjoy this. Remember, this is a living house, and we're really excited to come back in, see how our work's held up. A lot of times people wonder how good the work is you do, and so it's nice to come back and see how things are holding up. So without further ado, enjoy the video. I hope you appreciate the work that's gone into this. Thank you. We're at a job here at 25 Crichton Street in Ottawa in the historic district. And this is some work that we did in 2008. This whole area is actually in the outskirts or the edges of the historical district. There are some fairly decent properties. This one is an original board and batten, and it's a very simple house. And I'd like to show you what we did. We're possibly going to improve this door, but here's the entrance. And okay. Beautiful tall ceilings. There wasn't a lot of the original moldings. These moldings we actually did to be sort of period appropriate. And this front entrance actually was not really laid out well, so we added seating. The original, there wasn't even a closet in the front hall, and so we added one. There was a one in the as you enter out of this door, and it was just in a terrible place. So we made a closet and just made the front room more formal, and sort of brought it up. Added these small details, a new floor, and added this element here, which I'll come back and stand back further so you can see. So all of these casings, the wainscoting, the baseboard were all created for us as the original. Much of it had been stripped. The house had, during its life, been converted into flats, and so much of it was in pretty bad condition. The stairway was pretty simple. We just tightened that up, and we added crown details here. I'll come back and sort of show you that entrance to the foyer now, which is much romantic. And you can see now it's much better. So the original closet was actually on this wall, which was terrible. This wall came to about here. We redid this entire wall here. If I can get back far enough, I'll show you. We redid this entire wall here. Originally, there was a wall that came out here with a fireplace here. There was no door over there. So we tore out that fireplace, put a fireplace in there, and made the symmetrical crowns with the transom doors. And if you look, you'll see that the crown around the room actually connects to the top of the doors, and just gives the detail that was missing in the original house. Of course, all new electrical and lighting, and we matched 12-inch baseboard. So we ground knives. That's a full 1.25 inch by 12-inch baseboard. The blocks, okay, all of that detail. The house was a simple workers' quarters for the contractor, one of the major contractors that built the Rideau Canal, and it actually bought the majority of the property on this side of the Ottawa River, and it was named after the hometown he was from, New Edinburgh, and this was one of his workers' quarters. An original door to the house, which we've matched the details and copied doors. This is the original casings. You know, they're 2 inches thick. Here's the casings that we made, which are a difference, but we did match some other stuff. So these details sort of help. We made a very simple fireplace. Okay, but it's now a much more useful room, and I think with the symmetry of the fireplace and the doors, it is much prettier. The room was really divided up with the walls down here and the fireplace. This hall area really couldn't be lived in. So now that the hall travels through the room, it becomes a living hall, and the room feels 10 times bigger than it was. Okay. And of course, because there's two doors, it allows light to come in on both sides of that fireplace. Originally there was only one door here, and it didn't have a transom above it. So we're now entering the dining room, and we built all of these cabinets inside this room to house the owner's collection of very historic books, a pretty large collection, and of course this side with the French doors does just a beautiful classic job of giving beautiful symmetry to that side. We decided to paint that wall red. It was a magnificent piece of art, you know, and you know, this original area here was a big niche, and so we built this chest in. This is of course continuous construction with crown molding breaks all the way around. This matches everywhere. This is their china cabinet, so that it does allow it to look like a dining room, as well as storing books. And one detail I like to do is put a shelf down low on the window so you can hide stuff underneath there, but when the door is closed, things are displayed within the window. We kind of always do that. And of course, really thin natural true divided light glass. Now, what's interesting about this arrangement is what it did to the addition. And you can see that there's cabinets there, and that the opening to the kitchen, which is new addition, 1970s, is quite wide. What we did here is I actually made a false transom over this window to match the French transom doors and take up that space that these cabinets make up. And so this wall is really only 8 inches thick, but this opening now becomes to the front of the cabinets, and this is really that with a mirror in beside. And what that does is it gives the illusion that the next room is actually taller than it is, which was a design element that was terrible. If I come here, you'll see that the ceiling's actually only 7 feet high. And originally the addition done in the 1970s was through a small little opening right here, and the floor had not been removed. And so we've opened up the historical side of the house and made a massive opening, which now allows the windows in the back to afford a view from the dining room, and in fact all the way from the front door in some cases. So it really changed just the dynamics of the house visually, and it's probably what I'd call the most successful element of marrying the 9-foot ceilings in this side of the historical house with the new modern side of the other house. I'd like to introduce you to Kevin Phillips. Kevin Phillips is the owner and went through the dusty renovations in 2008, and I'd like him to just sort of tell you his experience and what we did to this side of the room.
Yeah, when we started the process of looking for a renovator, the first thing on our minds was a new kitchen. And that grew a little bit during the project. But in thinking about the new kitchen, we wanted a combination of things. Some additional storage space, because the storage was quite limited. We wanted to protect what brightness we had from windows and to improve on that a little bit if we could. And we wanted a workspace that was just more functional for somebody to work in the kitchen. So the kitchen was a decent size already, although it had that very narrow entrance and really totally cut off from the front of the house. So now the solution that Jack devised was to open it up to the dining room, which I think really successfully brings a great deal of additional light into the dining room itself that wasn't there before, because the light's coming from the back of the house. We've improved a bit on the brightness from the windows inside this room.
These windows, Kevin, were original size, eh? We replaced those with the original, but this big one, we increased the size, did we not?
Yeah, it was increased. My guess would be it might be maybe about 30% bigger than the one that had been there before.
And we bumped it out and made a bay, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is a really nice feature in the room. Again, it kind of brings you a little closer to the garden.
Yeah, and this is, for those that don't know and are watching, this is exquisite land in downtown Ottawa. You just usually don't get that much. So those are neat windows, Kevin, that just pushing out, no cranks.
No cranks, really nice low-end windows. Really enjoy them. Nice screens on the inside. There's one operating window over the sink. Those
Yes.
are also low-end. Crank opening. Another thing Jack did is where the roof heights permitted, he raised the ceiling on both outside portions of this room. So we've got something approximating to a higher height in these locations. The additional volume really makes it more comfortable and gives us a chance for some nice lighting choices as well.
Yeah, and I guess we added our sound system up in there, which is nice and concealed, and I love the reverse lighting we added up in there. That's from what I've seen at night, it's just lovely, you know.
We got all new appliances at the time. Essentially, I think it combines a nice kind of modern appliance look with that brushed stainless, with some really great cherry wood work that Jack and company did. We chose cherry because we had a Thomas Mosher cherry table we wanted to match or get pretty close to. And cherry, there's a nice cherry and sometimes walnut story going on in the house as renovated. Slate floors, soapstone countertops. Over the years, when I thought about what kind of a kitchen job I'd like to do, soapstone is something that I found really attractive, especially for what I wanted to kind of look like a somewhat sort of period kitchen. And we're really enjoying living with the soapstone. It's very easy to live with, and provides a nice attractive feature to the kitchen. The cabinet work, most of the cabinet work in this is not Jack's works. We didn't have time to try to work that up with Jack, and so it's a fairly nice kitchen cabinetry from a good kitchen company.
I believe it was Horizon, but to be fair, I did design the kitchen. So the kitchen design is mine, and we had someone else fabricate it. But
and apart from the most of the kitchen cabinets here, Jack did make these new doors and the molding surrounding the doors.
yeah, that's right. These were custom milled to sort of mimic the larger ones up front, and they're pretty thick. The doors matching historic.
The door to the right opens up to a great little powder room.
This was fun. This was a really fun one. It's got a little reverse ceiling, and I believe this is the smallest window we've ever installed. Kevin insisted that he had to have a window in his bathroom, and I'd have to totally agree. There were some odd things in here as these old places go, and the electrical meter, I believe, was inside the house, in around this location. So that little window looks easy, wasn't, but turned out lovely. I love that the wainscoting comes all the way up in there, and it just gives, I think, an old world feel to a new kitchen.
And the other door here conceals laundry just off the kitchen.
And how's that worked for you?
It has been working really great. It's really convenient having laundry right here.
Which is really wasn't necessary. It wasn't good downstairs. You can't do it downstairs. We have a stone short foundation downstairs.
Yeah. In fact, the laundry used to be in a cupboard here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Bifold doors, laundry and laundry tub. The laundry wasn't stacked. This, I think, is a much more functional use of the available space, and it's working out really well.
Wow.
We love the renovation overall. We're finding a combination both of really nice increased brightness in the main part of the house, some really lovely finishes and colors, and getting lots of great compliments from people who visit.
Thanks, Kevin. One thing I'd like to note is we completely tore the floor out in this kitchen and dropped the entire thing down a step just to get a little bit more height in here, to add even more to the illusion that we did on that. And my personal opinion is that just changed the feeling of the room so much. I don't think people can really understand that unless they've been in the room before or lived in it, how much 6 inches in height actually changes.
Yeah, those were really critical 6 inches. None of us is in our family is particularly tall, but even then, there was a real feeling of sort of constraint almost. The volume,
especially coming from the beautiful high ceilings on the historical side of the house.
Yeah, it was a huge contrast, and that's been significantly lessened now. And the combination then of that additional volume with the additional light brought into the house has made a huge difference. Something that you don't think about too often, but subconsciously is kind of always with you and making a big difference.
One thing that I enjoyed working with you, Kevin, was the amount of time we spent designing, talking about what were the options, You were a great client because you had really done quite a bit of research, and it's probably why much of this, I think, it was successful for both of us, is that you you knew a lot of stuff ahead and had actually researched a lot. I find I have to spend a lot of time educating my clients a little bit, and with you, it really was a pleasure to bring in details and talk about them in a realistic manner. And so I really enjoyed that. I think that's a real contribution to you know, the legacy that you and I have left on this historic property. So you know, I'd like to thank you for your participation in making me do better work. And hopefully I pushed you a little bit too. Like you said, I came for a kitchen job. You know, but
yes, you did. Yeah, I think it was a really good process. I really enjoyed it. I had done some a lot of daydreaming over the years. You might have had to re-educate me a little bit.
It was easy.
And I think the result is something we're really happy with, and we think you did a really superb job.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. It was exhausting, as these jobs are, but it's those sorts of things that give you the energy to do those little details. Would you like to show us upstairs, Kevin, and just quickly?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at what's up there.
What is the square footage, Kevin, do you think, of this house?
I think it's about 1,800 square feet.
Okay. Which isn't really a large house, so that's not a large house in today's standards. Is it downtown? Is that large, or is that average in this area?
Yeah, I'd probably say it's average.
Yeah.
In this particular little neighborhood, New Edinburgh, there are certainly a fair number of smaller houses, but there are also some significantly larger ones as well, whether 19th century houses or 20th century ones, that some of which are quite big.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the nice things about this house is it's on one of the original lots in New Edinburgh, so it's 155 feet deep. Narrow, just under 30 feet wide, but the 155 feet deep is nice, and it backs onto River Lane, and beyond that in the direction of the Rideau River and the Minto Bridges.
Yeah, that is lovely, that little lane in the back, very historic type thing. Okay. A little central hall.
So upstairs we've got 3 bedrooms and a main bathroom and then an ensuite bath off of the master bedroom. There are nice sort of decent sized bedrooms, really. We've got 2 children, and we find that the space has worked out perfectly well over the years. We've got
we didn't do too much in here, did we? Just like, what did we do in here?
Mainly in here, it was refinishing the floor. For some storage, we put in a couple of big IKEA units that have been very helpful. And we did some painting for my daughter, who wanted something quite unlike the rest of the house. And we gave her... It
actually is lovely. I've since used a color similar to that.
Yeah, she's enjoyed the room. And the front room here, there was not a lot done, but some really helpful things done. Installation of this shelf along the upper portion of the wall. Been great storage space for a growing boy who's had, over the years, a whole bunch of different things stashed up there. And in the corner of the room, a new kind of built-in cupboard that fit the space, and it's been
Yeah, closets are the biggest issue in these old houses. There just aren't any. You know, so the shelf was to, you know, add some detail and just having a place to put things. Because this is a pretty small room. It's bigger than I remember it though. And I did talk to your son, and he said he doesn't mind it too bad.
Oh no, he finds it quite fun in here.
Yeah.
He's found himself some good desk arrangements for his computer equipment, and really enjoyed it. The main bath here is a bit enlarged from what it was. In order to put in a nice full-size air tub, some really nice ceramic surround work there, and Jack came up with really, I think, successful design incorporating a bathroom cabinet and sink arrangement that he built, fixed mirror with some nice moldings around it, as well as a couple of very useful cupboards built into the walls here, and then one opposite matching it. Off the sound system, we've got one speaker here in the bathroom.
That must be nice.
Yeah, it is nice from time to time, and some built-in controls there. Nice limestone top to the bathroom unit here, and a nice variant color on a really nice limestone floor.
Very nice. Yes. Yeah, and I think the ceilings were really low, and we did punch out back there a little bit. You know, it was a typical bathroom, three-piece tin tub bathroom. So, you know, getting decent quality bathrooms in these old houses can be quite challenging. This one specifically had all the joists cut from a number of plumbers having their way with it. So all of that got restored, and it's good to see that there's been no cracks in the floor at all, all considered.
And here, the main bedroom is, in terms of decoration, still a work in progress, but
Nice and large.
It is a large room with a nice ensuite area, a little bit of a certain amount of clothing storage space down here towards the ensuite, and
this stair represents the addition, right? This is the addition from the old house.
Right. So we're over top of the kitchen here. This is the main reason why that kitchen ceiling is as low as it is. Was based on ultimately on the type of the roof structure built, and the height, the various heights involved. Leading in here to the ensuite bathroom. Which had a tub in it, and we asked Jack to design in a shower enclosure and get rid of the tub. And it's a very nice combination, joining together a number of the features downstairs, from the use of the kind of slate we used in the entranceway, as well as in the kitchen floor. Another use of the same soapstone down in the kitchen we've used in this bathroom cabinet. Again, a cabinet Jack made with some really nice walnut features at the bottom. Got a nice walnut bench there with a nice helpful drawer underneath. Again, built in a fixed mirror and some shelves.
Much more functional than it was, I imagine. Did we have a
with
door?
With a nice little pocket door.
Oh yes, forgot about the pocket door. Nice. Well, Kevin, I thank you for telling everybody your experience. We really appreciate it. I'm glad I got some feedback a few years later. Would you like to say goodbye to everybody in Hollywood?
Bye all.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye.